early 20th century, aspiring young actors flocked to Hollywood, dreaming of securing a contract with one of the 5 major studios. However, old Hollywood rules meant that signing a contract for a shot at stardom often came at the cost of their personal and professional freedom. Studio regulations controlled whom stars could date or marry, enforced strict standards on weight and appearance, and determined which films they could act in. Consequently, actors frequently sacrificed the best years of their careers. In old Hollywood, image was everything. Once an actor signed a contract, they agreed to strict morality clauses. If an actor was caught having an affair or engaging in any unlawful activity, the studio had the right to terminate their contract or even get them banned. Today, we see the biggest stars in Hollywood going to the grocery store in sweatpants and baseball caps. In old Hollywood, such casual attire would not have been tolerated. Leading ladies had to be fashionably dressed with full makeup, even if they were just running errands. On set, the cameras might have stopped rolling when the director yelled, "Cut!" But the stars of old Tinseltown never really stopped acting. Many movie stars choose to change their names to make them more show business friendly. Jennifer Aniston, originally Jennifer Lynn Anastasakis, and Olivia Wilde, originally Olivia Cockburn, are just a couple of modern-day examples. Today, the choice is up to the actor, though their agent or manager might recommend it. In old Hollywood, once an actor signed a contract with a studio, executives could demand a name change. For example, Cary Grant changed his name from Archibald Leach after Paramount Pictures insisted that the British actor create a whole new Hollywood identity. Louis B. Mayer signed Austrian actor Hedwig Eva Kiesler to a contract with the stipulation that she change her name. Mayer made the unusual decision to rename her Hedy Lamarr after silent film star Barbara Lamarr. Perhaps the most notorious forced name change happened with a young starlet named Lucille Fay Lesueur. MGM not only wanted to change her name, but also saw an opportunity for publicity. They held a $1,000 public contest to see who could come up with a new name for Lesueur. The winning name was Joan Crawford, a moniker the actor disliked because she thought it sounded like crawfish. Old Hollywood was all about appearances. Studio heads believed their female stars should look and behave like glamorous leading ladies. Katharine Hepburn was a pioneer in challenging these norms, using her fame and talent to assert her independence. Hepburn often eschewed makeup even during interviews and preferred wearing pants, much to the dismay of RKO, who felt pants were not feminine. In fact, RKO's costume department reportedly confiscated Hepburn's pants. The 4-time Oscar winner responded by prancing around the studio in just her underwear, insisting she wouldn't put on any clothes until her pants were returned. Once an actor signed a contract with a studio, they were typically bound for 7 years. This meant the studio dictated all the roles the actor had to take, regardless of how much they disliked the part or the script. Bette Davis refused to play by the old studio system's rules. She felt Warner Brothers wasn't giving her good roles and began to turn them down. In response, Warner Brothers suspended her, prompting Davis to move to England. Davis sued Warner Brothers to be released from her contract. Although she lost the lawsuit, her return to the States saw her receiving better roles and a higher salary. However, not every Hollywood story had such a positive outcome. MGM head Louis B. Mayer reportedly clashed with silent film star John Gilbert. Mayer allegedly sabotaged Gilbert's career by forcing him into bad roles, knowing the movies would be box office flops. Mayer's actions contributed to the early demise of Gilbert's career. One way studios generated publicity for their films was by making it seem like their movie stars were dating in real life. For example, MGM wanted to boost interest in their 1939 musical Babes in Arms. At the time, Mickey Rooney was already a big star while young Judy Garland was just starting out. While promoting the film, Rooney and Garland appeared to be a real-life couple. Garland fell in love with Rooney, but he saw her only as a friend and colleague. Studios also interfered with relationships they disapproved of. When leading blonde actress Kim Novak and black singer actor Sammy Davis Jr. started a relationship, they tried to keep it secret. However, when rumors spread that the couple was engaged, studio producer Harry Cohn, who allegedly had ties to Chicago's criminal underworld, reportedly put out a hit on Davis. Davis allegedly received a threatening phone call. His friend Arthur Silber was present when the call came in. They said they would break both of his legs, put out his other eye, and bury him in a hole if he didn't marry a black woman right away, claimed Silber. The threat was enough to make Davis end his relationship with Novak. In old Hollywood, big studios made actors sign moral clauses which allowed them to withhold a star's salary if they engaged in behavior deemed indecent. At that time, homoerotic activity was certainly considered indecent. A lavender marriage was an arranged marriage between two people of the opposite sex, often orchestrated by the studio to conceal an actor's sexuality. For instance, Rock Hudson, who was secretly gay, married Phyllis Gates in 1955 to protect his reputation as one of the studio's most bankable stars. Their marriage lasted only 3 years. There were many alleged lavender marriages in Hollywood. Other examples include Rudolph Valentino and Natasha Rambova, Judy Garland and Vincente Minnelli, Danny Kaye and Sylvia Fine and Barbara Stanwyck and Robert Taylor. MGM's treatment of young Judy Garland made her ill. The extreme diets, grueling 18-hour workdays, pep pills, downer pills, and lack of sleep left her often unfit to work. During the 1944 filming of Meet Me in St. Louis, Garland accumulated 16 sick days. By the time she was filming The Pirate in 1947, she was in a dire state, dependent on substances, and frequently missing work. MGM meticulously tracked the time and money lost due to Garland's inability to perform, deducting these costs from her paycheck. The total sum deducted allegedly amounted to $100,000. In the United States, abortion was illegal until Roe v. Wade in 1973. However, in old Hollywood, abortions were so common that one unnamed actor referred to them as birth control. The choice to have an abortion was often not left to the actor, but to the heads of the major studios. Producers understood that their movie's success depended largely on an actor's star power, which was considered a valuable commodity. One stipulation in an actor's morality clause was to avoid any behavior that could bring shame to themselves and, by extension, the studio. If an unmarried actor became pregnant in the 1940s, it would certainly violate a studio's morality contract. Moreover, a sexy screen siren, even if happily married, would lose her desirability if she got pregnant. The list of Hollywood actors driven by studios to have unlawful abortions is long. Judy Garland had 2, one while she was married. The studio demanded that Dorothy Dandridge get an abortion after she became pregnant, during an affair with married director Otto Preminger. While Ava Gardner was married to Frank Sinatra, she had an abortion because it was required under the penalty clause in her MGM contract. Additionally, Lana Turner, Jean Harlow, and Bette Davis were allegedly pressured to get abortions. If a female star gained weight, it could jeopardize their contract as extra pounds were strictly against the rules. MGM was fixated on Judy Garland's weight from the outset of her career. At just 14 years old, the studio criticized her appearance in her first film, likening her to a fat little pig in pigtails. Over the following years, MGM imposed strict diets on their star, often limiting her to chicken soup and black coffee. They supplemented these diets with diet pills and even required her to smoke around 80 cigarettes a day to suppress her appetite. Garland wasn't the only actress subjected to MGM's stringent fitness standards. Greta Garbo, the Swedish silent film star, was instructed to shed 20 pounds because, according to producer Louis B. Mayer, in America, we don't like fat women. Garbo endured a diet consisting solely of spinach for 3 weeks and maintained a strict caloric restriction for the rest of her Hollywood career. Kim Novak once overindulged at a farmer's market and, fearing studio scrutiny, followed a friend's advice to drink soap and water to induce weight loss. This drastic measure landed her in the hospital. Actress Joanna Moore received vitamin injections and amphetamines to control her weight, while director Josef von Sternberg pressured Marlene Dietrich to lose 15 pounds for the film The Blue Angel. Today, stringent laws protect young actors in Hollywood, but during the so-called Golden Age, studios largely disregarded such regulations. Elizabeth Taylor, who began her career as a child actor, recalled that studios often ignored rules regarding work hours, and she would be surprised to see a child actor leaving a set early. MGM's treatment of Judy Garland as a teenager is well documented. Garland, dubbed the Golden Child by the studio for her exceptional talent in acting and singing, was subjected to a grueling schedule of 6 days a week, often working 18 hours a day. The studio administered pills to help her cope with the demanding workload and controlled every aspect of her life, from her diet to her personal relationships. Shirley Temple, another iconic child star of the 1930s, also faced mistreatment from the studio despite her immense popularity. Temple starred in 29 films between the ages of 3 and 10, yet she too endured harsh discipline tactics. Allegedly disobedient child actors were confined in windowless rooms and made to sit on blocks of ice. In her autobiography, Child Star, Temple reflected on how Hollywood treated young stars as financial assets rather than children, teaching them that time equated directly to money and any wastage led to trouble. Today, Hollywood stars undergo plastic surgery by choice, not as a contractual obligation. During the Golden Age, Rita Hayworth became an iconic beauty and pinup star after Hollywood transformed her from a young Latina singer named Margarita Cancino into Rita Hayworth. The studio altered her appearance significantly, changing her name and using electrolysis to raise her hairline. They also dyed her hair to fit the image they desired. Studio executives exerted extensive control over stars' appearances, speech, and behavior. This included procedures like dental work, nose jobs, diction lessons, posture training, and more. Signing a contract with a studio meant surrendering control of one's image. Many old Hollywood stars underwent plastic surgery, though whether they were coerced by studios into procedures like facelifts or nose jobs is debatable. However, it's widely acknowledged that stars such as Marilyn Monroe, Marlene Dietrich, and Burt Lancaster underwent noticeable surgical transformations to enhance their appearances. For more videos like this, like and subscribe.